This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Coming up this hour on Sunrise, we have new details about the man who was brutally attacked on a MAX train platform in Gresham earlier this week. We'll hear from his former roommate in just a minute.
And we still do not have a House Speaker as lawmakers head into their 12th vote later today. Why this standstill is preventing local leaders from doing their jobs.
This is supposed to scan these boxes.
No. Turn it around. Right there.
Upside down. Oh, lower?
You don't need to go that high.
Oops. Well, I mean, even a simple scan can be hard if it's your very first day.
Thank you, Bridget. Thank you for that.
I'm sticking up for you. We have a brand new edition of Rod on the job this morning, and as you can tell, he is at the U.S. Postal Service.
So that scan is part of the tracking, when you want to know where your package is.
Sure.
That's what that's all about.
That poor person has no idea where their package is.
Oh.
I woke up in really a pleasant mood this morning. I really did.
Listen, I'm going to put you in a better mood. I know you're in charge of predictions here on the show, but I'm going to predict this is going to be a good Friday, thanks in large part to that Rod on the job at 5:15.
Yeah,
that's coming up. We have a dry morning. In fact, it's partly cloudy. The winds, for the most part, even in Troutdale, faded last night. So now because of all of that, there's the radar, nothing going on. It's a little bit cooler than it has been, but still, everybody's well above freezing, and it's pretty nice outside. 40 degrees is the temperature. We have 50 degrees expected at noon. We will be dry through the noon hour. That's a high confidence call. And then this afternoon, rain will start to move in. And then we go on to be what we talked about yesterday, a rainy evening and overnight, 49 for you at 5 p.m. Back to you.
Okay, thanks, Rod. We've been talking about it all week. 3 days now, 11 votes, and still no House Speaker in the nation's capital. Kevin McCarthy once again failing to secure the 218 votes he needs. And until a House Speaker is chosen, newly elected lawmakers can't be sworn in, and that includes elected officials from Oregon and Washington.
KGW's Catherine Cook talked to Representative-elect Andrea Salinas from Oregon's newly formed 6th District to get her perspective on what's happening there in D.C.
The House floor remained a place of disorder and dysfunction Thursday, divided over who should be the next Speaker of the House. For Congresswoman-elect Andrea Salinas, all she could do was laugh.
Many of us were saying, we don't really officially have a job yet.
She also laughed Wednesday.
We're not getting paid yet.
And Tuesday.
I'm like, this is my volunteer job. There were just lots of jokes on the floor about stuff like that.
3 days and 11 failed votes later, there's only so much levity in a situation that grows more serious by the day. Despite numerous concessions, Republican leader Kevin McCarthy has failed to sway a group of far-right Republicans blocking him from the leadership role.
My vote does not get Kevin McCarthy the speakership. I am a no on Kevin.
Political insiders suggest a promising deal is close.
We're all working together to find a solution.
But after 3 days of similar reports, few Democrats are holding their breath.
What is the most frustrating part about this for you?
I feel like we are letting down the people across the U.S. who really do expect us to start to dive into the important issues. So, for instance, in my district, it's the Farm Bill reauthorization. I think we don't have our committee assignments. We don't know where we'll be serving.
Salinas is one of 3 freshman legislators from Oregon waiting to be sworn in. That can't happen until the House chooses its next speaker. Same boat for Congresswoman-elect Marie Gluesenkamp-Perez. In a statement to KGW, she said, "I came to Congress to get things done for Southwest Washington. I'm here to pass a right to repair bill, cut red tape for small businesses, and deliver results for working families. Every day the House goes without a speaker is a day Southwest Washington goes without the representation it deserves." 3 days in and no clear path in sight, the wait continues for leadership. For Salinas, there's always Friday.
My hope is to be sworn in. That's been my hope every day. So I'm no longer Congressman-elect, and I'm Congresswoman, and we can get rolling here.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
This morning, we're hearing from the former roommate of the senior citizen mauled at a Gresham Max stop, and we've learned the victim's name. He's Gary Crusoe. Court documents say the 78-year-old was attacked at the Cleveland Avenue stop early Tuesday morning. 25-year-old Corin Kramer is named as the suspect. Police say he was high and drunk at the time and thought Crusoe was a robot trying to kill him. So he jumped him, chewing off his ear and part of his face. We talked to Crusoe's former roommate.
I'm really shocked and surprised. I'm so sorry for Gary, and I'd hate to have that to happen to anybody.
He also says he suspects Crusoe was at the Mac stop at 2 a.m. because he'd recently been evicted from a house in Hillsborough. Crusoe had been living there after serving prison time for sex crimes involving a child. As for his injuries after the Max attack, at last check, he was in stable condition. The suspect is currently in jail without bail.
The historic downtown church destroyed in a fire earlier this week is scheduled to be torn down this morning. The demolition was supposed to happen yesterday, but was delayed. Meantime, the person accused of the crime is in jail waiting for her next trial. Nicolette Storer, who identifies as female, was charged with both arson and burglary. She made her first court appearance yesterday. The DA says she admitted to using a lighter to set the fire and said voices in her head told her to do it. The DA added Storer has also a history of opioid use and schizophrenia. Portland Fire says the demolition will begin at 10 a.m.
All right, here's a look at a few other local headlines that we're following this morning. First, in Vancouver, police arrested a teacher in the Evergreen School District for allegedly sending an inappropriate text to a student. Shelley Leatherwood is a teacher at Mountain View High School. Police say they received a report from a staff member that a student said Leatherwood had texted a nude photo. The district notified parents and placed the teacher on leave. Traffic alert for you for this weekend. I-84 at the I-205 interchange will be closed in both directions. So this closure begins at 10 o'clock tonight and will run until 4 in the morning on Sunday. Drivers in both directions there at 84 will be routed onto 205 through the Gateway Green area. This is part of a TriMech project that includes building more tracks and a red line station platform near the Gateway Transit Center. And last headline here, the Multnomah County Library is breaking ground on its renovation of the Holgate branch today. So what we're showing you here is an exterior rendering of what the new library will look like. The $27 million project will triple the size of the space, making it one of the largest libraries in the county. It'll feature an outdoor plaza, large learning space for kids, and also solar panels, among a few other things. So this library is expected to open up in spring of next year. And with that, we have a look at your Friday morning headlines.
Yeah, what a cool project. This is also pretty cool. Did you know that January is National Hot Tea Month? So this morning, photographer Eric Patterson is out at Ovation Coffee. It is the #1 ranked coffee shop in Portland. It's in the Pearl right on Northwest Overton Street.
Number one,
absolutely.
Wow.
Okay, listen to that and look at that because they are serving up Moroccan mint tea. Listen to what's in it. Fresh spearmint, orange blossom water, green tea, and just a little bit of sugar to taste. Yes, please. It's family owned. It also serves up Moroccan spiced coffee and espresso. Plus, you can buy pastries and sandwiches. There's gluten-free stuff and a kids menu. So a big shout out for Ovation Coffee in the Pearl. I do love a cup of tea. I'm very partial to my coffee, but I like tea as well.
I'm not really allowed to talk about my kids on the show anymore. They asked me to not really talk about them.
When they get to be teenagers, that happens.
15, yo dad, keep our names out of your mouth. All I'm going to say is I do have a couple of people in my family who do enjoy a cup of hot tea.
Okay.
Ovation Coffee and tea.
They may or may not be your kids.
They may or may not be, Christine. You're following well on this Friday morning. Rodney, what do you have there in front of you, my friend?
So we have rain expected over the weekend, but the question is what is it going to be or not? So if you go back the last 4 days, do you guys say it's been more rainy or more dry?
More dry.
More dry.
Really? You guys are smarter than I thought. Next question. Come on, Rod, keep it coming. So the last 4 days, the totals of only 29 100ths of an inch during that entire stretch. And again, this weekend, I mean, if you just stare at things, you're like, wow, that could really be wet. That could really be wet. But the models continue to not put out that much total rain in the gauge, if you will. Here's our next weather maker, that white band showing up on the satellite picture. That will come into us this afternoon. Right now, we are dry. It's a nice morning. Partly cloudy skies. We have generally light to gentle breezes, and I think we will be dry all the way through the noon hour. So a nice start to your Friday. Temperatures have fallen off a little bit because we're dry and we have some breaks in the clouds, but still not bad. 38 Eugene, Salem, Portland's holding at 40 right now. Kelso 44, 46 up in Astoria, above freezing out in the Dalles, and 34 over in Bend. Here's your Futurecast movie, 12:30 today. Starting to see some rain at the coast, but still dry up and down I-5. And it looks like 2, 3, 4 o'clock, depending on where you are, that's when the rain will be moving in. And then here's 3 o'clock this afternoon. Once it starts, it's going to be raining more than not all the way through this evening. That was 9 p.m. and perhaps all the way into you getting up tomorrow morning. Here we are Saturday at 8:30. And then we'll have some breaks and we'll still have some occasional shots of rain. There's a disturbance that swings through tomorrow afternoon. It's not totally clear if most of this rain stays at the coast and we just get a little bit, or if we get a pretty good shot. And then you see kind of a mix of scattered showers continuing into the day Sunday. So after seeing all of that, weather model shows 1/2 inch in Salem and about 3/10 of an inch in Portland. And if anything, the modeling has been trending to being overdoing it. And by the time we get to the actual day, those rain total projections come down. So we'll see how much we get this weekend. It's going to continue to be nice temperature wise. 55 today in Salem. If you haven't heard, you folks in Salem hit 61 degrees yesterday. Yeah. 52 in Battleground this afternoon, 53 in Vancouver. Here's the 7-day. Overnight lows about 40 over the weekend. We get up to about 50, 51 each day. Right now, Tuesday looks to be our next opportunity for a day that could be completely dry for the 24-hour period. All right, coming up next on our show, I went to the Lentz Postal Gathering Distribution Center. That's me scanning a package for tracking purposes. You know, their success rate, I know we all complain about the post office at times, but their success rate is amazing. In fact, I'm kind of jealous. We'll have that story coming up.